In the last episode, you witnessed 12 poker professionals battle it out in a classic last longer. And after an insanely competitive 3 days of all-ins, rage quits, and unlimited rebuys, the legend himself, Chris Moneymaker, came out on top to win $6,000 and the elusive prize in the mystery envelope. This time, we're continuing where we left off in the $1,650 Punta Del Este main event. And spoiler alert, Chris Moneymaker has made the final table. Let's jump straight back into the action.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the lovely Punta Del Este here at the Enjoy Poker Tour, the final table of the main event, and it is ready to bake. We are ready to cook today here. We have another legend at this final table, the one and only Chris Moneymaker.
I am Chris Moneymaker. I'm from Bahia, Mississippi, and I have 2.9 million in chips. I mean, you know, making another final table is fantastic. This is my first final table in Latin America, so super stoked about that. This is going to be an interesting final table. There's a lot of people with a lot of gamble. I mean, I think we're all pretty balanced in stacks, so it should be a long final table, I would imagine. I don't think there's going to be, we'll probably lose a few in the beginning, but once we get down to 4 or 5 handed, I imagine it's going to draw out pretty long, because again, like you say, there are a bunch of pros at the table, so being down here and having the opportunity is fantastic. If I do win this, I guarantee my wife will probably just take it, and I'll never see any of it, so that's probably how it works anyways.
I know. But then the one time they're right, I'm like, I should have listened to the chat. You know what I mean? It's like...
Yeah, never listen to the chat except for poker strategy advice. Then they're always right.
Oh, my God.
True. Very true. Well said.
Well, look at this fun little spot here. Ace Deuce got the wheel draw here for Fernandez, along with a pair, but Moneymaker blocking everybody's straight potential with some fives. What a great flop for Chris here.
Leading out here is significantly better than finding a check call or being forced to feel like you got a check raise. And see how effective that small bet was, too? It's not a very big bet, and to just already get it heads up like this. Obviously, I think the king is going to make him want to check a little bit more, but it's actually not that scary of a card. There's not going to be a lot of king X like wrapped around Fernandez's continues here. So continuing the bet makes a lot of sense. Continuing to deny that equity when he does have, you know, his own 5x or, you know, 3x of diamonds or something like this, ace deuce of hearts, I think. And the sizing too, I really like the sizing. It allows him to be able to realize his equity for cheap. You know, often Fernandez's response, if he raises, is going to be pretty honest, and if Moneymaker feels like he can get away from it, then it makes it easy for him as well, and he kind of risks the minimum. So yeah, I really like the turn bet too. Now the 8 doesn't really matter, but it's going to be pretty tough to find value here, so he might want to give up. Yeah, makes sense. This could be a really good bluff catching spot. Fernandez might feel like he's behind here.
Ooh, what's he going for?
Looks like he's going for a big bet. Wow.
Remember, those yellows are 50k chips, and he's swinging indeed.
That's a great bluff. I love this bluff, blocking the nuts. The ace is really, really important here. That being said, I do think Moneymaker can find an excuse to find a call here. I don't think Fernandez is ever going to have 8s. I don't think he's ever going to have kings. Moneymaker himself blocks the nuts. You know, chances are Fernandez is going to raise flop or turn with a set. This would be a time to use your time card for sure and consider a call. Tough spot though. Really, really tough spot. If he folds here, I don't blame him, but I think this is a really, really, really nice bluff catcher, which obviously
Chris,
he's thinking the exact same thing right now.
I know he is. You can tell. He's basically replaying every scenario here, thinking where it's going to land him. This is a travesty.
Especially when he doesn't have a diamond in his hand.
Yeah, it's funny. This is a travesty. Joins us in the chat. Says, I'm a call here probably, but then again, I'm a station.
Yeah, I mean, that is not an easy call to make, and it's a pretty confusing spot, especially when it starts with an open limp, right? So, yeah, great bluff. Well done.
And as we can see there now, Moneymaker with 2.3 in chips, million being, almost half a stack. If you call there and you're wrong, that's going to throw you right down there in Jose's range of the 16 bigs. And it's a very different game when you're almost 30 bigs and around the 15 range, Nines
smart.
versus tens here. Let's see what's up. Moneymaker obviously coming in with a Razosaurus Rex. Jose immediately behind, saying, yo, let's take this party upstairs. Again, guys, those yellow chips are 50Ks. The reds are 5s.
I don't blame him for thinking about it. It's not a snap play in any decision, regardless of whether you decide to shove, call, or fold.
And he is
Okay,
going to come
decides
along.
he wants to see the flop. Interesting. Okay. Honestly, I think I'd prefer to see a 4-bet shove over a flat. I think this is actually a really, really expensive call for him, especially ICM-wise, stack distribution-wise, stacked pot ratio-wise. I would have actually been okay with the call with ace jack more than I am okay with the call with nines here, but
And
you end up with tough decisions
no
like this one.
hesitation. No hesitation.
call.
Gets check, rips, calls. And that's the thing is, he's thinking his opponent could easily be doing this with these ace, king, ace, queen hands where they brick. And Moneymaker just chill. Another day at the office. Obviously, seat 8 standing. So no, he is going to stand. No clubs for either of them. So we'll be looking to drill that 2 outer. That's not going to do it. Can Moneymaker find the 9 from space? He does not.
A disastrous start for Chris Moneymaker on this final table. It's going to take a miracle to turn things around, but that's the beauty of the game of poker. Anything can happen. The comeback is on.
Moneymaker's like, look, I'll take folds all the way around, but hopefully I'm just not locked and dominated, and it doesn't look like he will be unless the big blind wakes up with something. This might just get through, which is just going to pay for his next 2 blinds. This is perfect. This is great. Get this through, and it just pays for his next 2 blinds. That's fantastic. I'm never mad about that. Sorry, I did see that actually seat 1 did call there. My bad.
Oh, jack 8 off. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, it's the way he stacks his chips. I'm not surprised. Because he stacks his chips like a moron. All right, so King 10 is still looking good. Yeah, I just glazed over that, but I stand by my statement. King High, still the best. And that's going to be good, baby. King High for the full double. Thank you very much. Take some chips off the rail, sir. Moneymaker, obviously, with the grip and rip with ace 8, is going to get looked up by ace queen. Looking for the old 8 of fate. Can he find it? I mean, I guess we'll take a double board pair for some Choposaurus, but we'll just take 8 right in the window. Let's do it.
At least 2 spades on the flop to make it a real good sweat.
Ooh, yeah, 8 and 2 spades. It'd be nasty. Nope. 8 right now. / board pair 7 or 9 question mark. Oh! Hold the baby. Don't you dare queen anyone right now. Don't you do it.
Wow.
Ooh, baby, let's go.
What a comeback. The same chip count as he had with the pocket 9s. He's made quite the comeback.
See money with that alligator blood, man. I'm telling you, dude. Once he gets chips, watch out, baby. You're the money.
At this crucial point in the tournament, Chris is hanging on for dear life. Down to just 3 big blinds a few moments ago, he's now doubled up twice to a respectable 1.5 million chips. For now, Chris's tournament life is safe. What isn't safe, however, is Andrew's King Jack of Hearts. He is swiftly eliminated from the final table in 8th place for $24,000, followed by a 7th place bust out for $30,000. Goodbye also to Cesares. With just 7 players remaining, that main event trophy could be just a few pots away from Chris Moneymaker's grasp.
Yeah, so we started out trying to come in and play good today. That didn't work. I got bluffed twice. I got 9s against a guy that I know has me beat, and I still called. It's just stupid. Put me down to 3 bigs, shipping King 10, 3 bigs under the gun, pretty standard. Get called with Jack 8, which is magical. Get up to 6, and then obviously, 6 big, wake up with an ace, and get it in. I knew I was going to hit the 8 on the turn. I just knew it was. It's weird how it works, but still sitting about 9-10 bigs, so we got work to do. I feel like I'm in my trading zone here. This is about where Tritons are, down 9-10 bigs, so I'm in my comfort zone, so we'll see what happens. Now we just need to run good.
Couldn't agree more, man.
At the end of the
Even if
day,
it's not, Getting it. Moneymaker ripping from the button with 8 deuce like a boss. What a savage. Beluccio can never call this a queen 10. It makes 0 sense. He'll think about it, but he can't. I just love seeing Moneymaker up to 18 bigs. I mean, because we've all seen it, and I mean, if you're lucky enough, we've all done it. Chip in a chair. There is so much validity to that statement. All right, I won a Venom ticket myself in one of those Saddies and was down at one point in the B sitting crust Saddy, and I was down at one point to like 1.2 bigs maybe, when there was like 30 players left and it paid top 8, and I ended up winning a ticket.
Oh, beautiful. You know, it's a crazy sweat. A super stressful sweat is when you're on the bubble of those big satellites and you do have like 0.3 big blinds and you're just praying somebody punts or you're praying somebody gets unlucky. Oh no,
it sucks.
I've had a lot of those experiences in satellites. If you play enough satellites, you have to go through that heartbreak. It's tough. That's why I stopped doing satellites for a while, because I was like, I can't take this heartbreak. But you know, oh, here we go, Moneymaker.
Speaking of heartbreak, yeah, I was going to say, speaking of heartbreak, it actually looks like Fernandez, the flop went check bet by Fernandez, called by Money, and Money with the power tools drilling the monster straight here.
How good does Moneymaker feel right now facing a barrel here?
Oh my God, so sweet. Now the interesting spot, I mean, the only card you really don't want to see would be like a 7. You know, if you're Moneymaker, as far as hand strength wise. But with that being said, when do we bust out the raising chips here?
I think slow playing here is probably the best course of action, but these small bets do encourage a lot of check raising. I think if maybe if there's two-tone, if there's that flush draw out on the board, we might be more incentivized on a check raise, but looks like he's doing the check raise himself.
He is, and it is really strong. It's funny because it's just literally a min click, and he's only got another 880 behind. This looks so strong, and I mean, maybe you can continue here with, if you're Fernandez, with like top pair, but oh, don't listen to me. He's thinking, but like this just to me looks ultra strong. I mean, I don't know.
Agree.
I guess a min click could, since you know it looks strong, that's why you do it if you're not strong. But like, I think this looks really strong. So to continue with just second pair here kind of surprises me. But then Fernandez just might be too rich to fold here. A river of an 8 or 10 would be just disgusting for him and great for the money. Let's see what it is. 4 ball, and this is unfortunately going to kill Money's action. I don't think we're ever seeing a hero call here, but then again, it's not that much, right? At that point, it's less than $1 million into a pot of 3.4, but like, you're just never good here with an 8, right? Like, is he really check raise bluffing turn?
I think this is a spot that Fernandez can get away from. I think he could have gotten away from it on the turn, to be honest, but the check raise sizing probably just kind of raked him in a little bit into not wanting to find the fold. That being said, as played, I don't think Moneymaker has a choice but to get it in.
Wow.
And he ends up
calls.
getting paid. Wow.
Holy crap. What a spin up for the man, the myth, the legend. Chris Moneymaker was on the ropes after losing 9s to 10s, down just to a few blinds, gets it in, finds a double, gets it in, finds a double, ships a couple times, gets everybody to fold, and now finds a huge double against the chip leader. And that, my friends, is going to tip the scales. This is chunky now. 4.3 million for Chris, puts him second in chips. Game on, baby.
All in.
Okay, Moneymaker has ace queen.
And snap.
Another race. Your horizontal friend might be here no longer.
Oh man.
You might get some relief here, Justin.
I don't have to say if I'm biased in this pot. We all know.
We know.
Oh yeah, look at that start for Money. Put a club and say game over. But it'll be a straight flush potential club. Watch, it'll be great. It's always a sweat. Oh, don't you?
You're right. It is a sweat.
Don't you do it. Take him to the club. Queen of clubs. No. King of clubs. Yeah, boy. And that is going to be it for Barto. Hopefully 36 dimes and some change is enough to pay off some of that debt and hopefully get the remainder back at craps. Much love. Good playing with you, my man. And 36 dimes for his efforts. Now 45,000 guaranteed locked up for the remaining 5.
Posición 3, all in.
Ooh, never mind. Rip a ship and snap from money. Oh my God, this pot is for piles here. And not even a thought. Money just said, my ace jack is good, I'm not buying it. Wow. This could be a hell of a start here to just chip leader stardom by a mile for money. And we do have a board pair. Now, of course, another board pair here would chop it up. And just looking for pretty much a random card. Oh my God. Oh my God. Wow. This is insane.
That is
Moneymaker bulldozing this table now. Just, he has all the chips. All the chips. Didn't even think about it. With Ace Jack says, I'm good, I call, I win. And this just might be a clinic of how you finish the job there. Fernandez going to take home 45K for his efforts. Now all players locked up just shy of 60K with a 22K pay jump on top of that. So, whew.
4 left, getting down to the nitty gritty, 200 big blinds. It's gonna be fun for the next couple hours.
Go all in.
It's a close call. It is one of those spots where, like, if you wanted to wait for a better one and just keep all the stacks short, I wouldn't blame him. You're more or less flipping majority of the time here. And he does call.
165.
Moneymaker's just trying to take everybody out of himself. Does he know it's not a bounty tournament?
Someone did fold a 5, so that's a bit concerning. Oh, man. What a sweat.
Oh my God. What a sweat indeed. Oh my God, so weird. A 6 to chop. Oh my God.
Oh my God. We can share the big blind and the ante. Chop is fair, he says.
What about that spin up from C Money here at the final table? And it's not quite closed out yet, but he is doing his best.
All in.
Another ace king of the big
I was gonna
blind.
say, I almost feel like I've been waiting to see the car crash, and we're definitely gonna have a matchup here. Looks like
Yep.
Leche here, all in the one at risk with the old ace king, the old queen 10. It's a good draw in hand,
Oh,
right in the
there it is.
window. Oh my God, ace king is going to need that jack stat. Oh my God, oh my God.
What a turn.
And still outs for a boat if they can find a queen or 10. Oh my,
Wow. Oh my God. Wow.
what? Wow. 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 We wow. Out. Look, you can see the head shake, man. We all feel your pain there. OMG. Oh my God, wow.
Hey, people saying
Just
this
shy
kind of
of-
stuff only happens online. It happens live too.
Just shy of 60K for your efforts there. And now everybody else with a $22,000 ladder, now up to 81,000. Game on. Wow. Ooh,
Looks like
gonna
we're about to see a
right
race here.
Alrighty, we are off to the races. If Moneymaker can spike a 3 or find a way to hold, we could be down to heads up.
It's a good flop for
That is a
Moneymaker.
great start for Chris. Yeah, could have him drawing dead potentially on the turn. Not a bad turn.
Jose needs a king or a queen. Very nice.
Wow. And the run continues. Good game, Jose. You can see a lot of the railbirds back there. I'm sure that'll start to fill up real quick. Jose for $81,000 for his effort. And now both players guaranteed 126K, playing for 179K and the glory. Wow.
This is it. From nearly being eliminated in 8th place to being just moments away from potentially winning $180,000 and taking home that amazing Punta del Este 1650 main event trophy. Our opponent, Francisco Benitez, also known as Tamati Online. He has won numerous titles on the felt with over $3.5 million in live earnings. He won't be an easy opponent to defeat. And here we go.
Once again, you know, Benitez has been playing really solid this final table, so I really don't expect him to make it easy here. Heads up for Chris. Chris is going to have to fight tooth and nail for every pot.
Not at all. This could be a fun one here. Ace 9 versus Ace 10, but yeah, it's I mean, Benitez is is focused in for the win now, and so is Chris for that matter. So this will be anything but straightforward, easy heads-up match.
400,000.
I mean, I could see them playing for stacks with these hands. That's quite a possibility. Let's see. Is he calling here instead of 3-betting? Okay. Go for the call. We have seen Chris check these types of flops in the past. Looks like he's going to do that this time as well. And now Benitez picks up the flush draw, so I wouldn't be surprised to see Benitez probe here. Once again, facing a capped range, having a lot of equity here. If he remembers, he knows that Moneymaker has folded in these spots after checking flop. He does go for the bet.
475.000. Perdón, 270.
Moneymaker might feel justified in flatting here with ace high. Just knowing he's still up against quite a lot of draws. 5-6 suited is going to bluff here. Ace of hearts, king of hearts, queen of hearts, they're all going to bluff here. He does call one, knowing he's got reasonable showdown value. Versus that bet sizing, I think it's not an unreasonable call at all. Now, does Benitez fire another bullet here? Won't be surprised if he does. Once again, fighting a capped range here. He does check.
And Moneymaker behind,
And
just going to
Moneymaker's
be
gonna
happy
do
to
that.
show this one. Yeah.
It's a good call. I'd love to know Benitez's opinion on this 5. To me, a 5 is actually not that bad of a river card to continue his bluffs. He might go for a thin value bet with something like ace 5 with a heart. Obviously, he's still going to have a lot of 8x in his range. He does have that heart blocker to the nuts. I'm going to assume he just thinks that ace 9 is going to be good there enough of the time to justify just checking it down and beating, you know, a king of hearts or a queen of hearts or something like that at showdown. Maybe if he didn't have that ace kicker, he might have actually continued to fire off a bluff.
And the chipping away continues. 71 bigs there for money, and Benitez now down to 27. Definitely turning the tables a little bit.
Yeah, well, we started heads up with what I think it was like 50 big blinds to 43 big blinds or something like that. You know, Moneymaker's definitely doing a good job of leaning on him.
400,000. Paga.
I mean, regardless, it definitely doesn't feel too bad to have 126K already locked up. But then again,
Pasa.
playing heads
No
up for
kidding.
another 50 dimes on top is the icing on the cake.
Well, once again, that's kind of that weird, I don't know what the right word is, paradox, not paradox, but
Apuesta.
that weird moment in tournaments where
250,000.
you're guaranteed 126K, which is first place in a lot of tournaments, right? Or better than first place in a lot of tournaments. So finishing second is kind of this weird, bittersweet moment where you don't get the trophy, you don't get that 50K pay jump, but you're winning more than most tournament poker players are winning on any given day. It's a win-win, but in the moment, it kind of feels not so much like a win, you know?
Yeah, it's a poker thing. Speaking of win-wins, how about that turn there for Chris? Was already ahead, but now capping up with kings up here.
I assume with this hand specifically, Benitez is going to want to check pretty often. He's just got a lot of easier barrels to make with both value and bluffs. Looks like he's going to barrel for protection here.
Apuesta.
Perhaps not having the 9 of hearts is kind of an influence here, protecting from all the draws that are out there that he thinks Moneymaker is going to continue with. And Moneymaker is considering a check raise, which in this specific instance is not going to work in his favor. But overall, it's certainly not going to be a mistake, given how wet the board is, or wet enough, and how valuable his hand is, beating plenty of Benitez's value.
Sube.
They are swinging for it. Those yellow chips, remember, are 50K chips. Benitez firing 650, and Money says, take it upstairs.
It's a really interesting sizing. Benitez might be pretty enticed on a call here. I seem to remember Moneymaker, I think, did this earlier in the final table. Maybe I'm mistaking him for someone else. And he had 2 pair that time as well. Or no, he had the straight. He turned the straight.
That's right, yeah, he turned that gut shot.
And he kind of did a similar kind of sizing. It was a little bit smaller than this one. But I guess the question is, does Benitez think that Moneymaker is going to do this with Queen Jack of clubs or 5x of
Finds
hearts?
the call, and wow, wee wow. I mean, obviously a 5 or 9 would easily spell disaster here for Benitez.
Possibly even a king might be tough. Okay, interesting. The big question that's going to be answered is, oh, he's
Ooh, wow.
okay, he's thinking about it.
All in, and he snap grabbed chips, but slowed himself down.
It's tough. I mean, Moneymaker could have 6-7 suited here. Maybe Queen Jack of Clubs. Finds the call. Wow, that's it. Oh, wow.
And the champion becomes more champion.
Oh my God. What a year. What a year this man is having. Just sweeping through.
Absolutely. Just grabs the tourney, says, I'm out of here, dude. Wow. Chipped down to just pennies. And then, of course, makes it all back to dominate and Sun Run to the win. 126,000 there for our runner-up and champion Chris Moneymaker. Good for 179. We're going to call it 180K and the trophy and all the prestige. What a ledge. You know what? And this is a big middle finger to everybody who's like, oh, he doesn't know how to play. He got lucky. Well, I'll tell you what, guys. He's doing just fine.
Another main event under your belt, how does it feel?
Obviously incredible. I mean, anytime you win a poker tournament, definitely feels good. When you win main events, it feels even better.
Is this the year of the Moneymaker?
It's the decade of the Moneymaker. I don't have just years. Mine started last year in October, and it's going to continue. It's like there's no point in having only 1 year. 1 year is no fun.
You told me when we were down to 4 or 5 players that you had a read on an opponent. Would you mind sharing what that read was?
When I started building back up in chips, I noticed it, and as the day went on, it became more pronounced. So the guy to my left, he would look at his cards out of turn, and every time he looked at them, if he was going to play them, he would put chips on them or hold them back, and every time he was going to fold, he would either pick them up or have his hands on them. So I knew every single time he was going to fold his hand to my left before I even got tagged. So you'll see on the stream, I shipped all in with 8 deuce. I was raising just because I know he's folding. I get to automatically be the button when I'm in the cutoff. I automatically, when I'm the button, I know the small blind's already going to fold, so it makes my hand that much stronger against the big blind. There's just so much information I can gather from that I know if he's folding all these hands, all of a sudden the strength of my hand goes up tremendously. So I use that to my advantage, and that's how I built up my stack a lot of ways, is just letting him tell me when he was going to play a hand.
The heads up was over very quickly. Did that surprise you? You were quite deep.
Yeah, I was real shocked, I'll be honest. We were 50 big blinds deep. I know he's a very accomplished player. I really expected the heads up to go for hours. I was prepared to sit there for a very long time. I was really, really shocked that it went that quick. But once I check raised him on the final hand and he called me on the turn, I knew it was over.
How important is it to have the ACR support, the players here supporting the company at these events?
Yeah, they weren't supporting me. They were trying to, make me lose on purpose. No one likes anybody here. We're all enemies. That's why I wanted to win the last longer and take their money.
Let's go, Chris.
Yeah. Well, I actually had one fan. Did have one fan on the.
At least 2. I'm trying to get a free dinner. How does it feel that you and Boski have the same size trophy?
Well, mine says main event on it. So, we can have the same size, but it really comes down to that word right there, main event. When it says main event, that's better.
Thanks, Chris. Congratulations.